Like when I was in Vietnam, there is this, like we use motorcycle, like Vietnamese use motorcycles a lot. So there is this thing called Grab. Grab is like, it's like Uber, but it's motorcycle. So it's yeah, and like usually I would have conversations with, or sometimes be forced to have conversation with people who do the motorcycle taxi, the Grab thing, and we had quite some interesting conversation. And these people, they used to do a different type of profession. So, and one spoke to my mind. Like there's one that I remember really memorable, which is like he used to be a typist. Like they literally like do the typing in the post office, or like some kind of office, or a newspaper office. And now he's, like, and computers come out, and everyone has their own computer, and he doesn't have a job anymore. And he talks it such as, like AI took his job. And I guess, sorry, not AI, like computers took his job. But I guess from that, you probably already know what I'm talking about today. So a lot of people are talking about AI in the same way, right? But let's think about the man. Like, I mean, like, I'm not an ageist. Like, I have no problem with, like, I have a lot of empathy for people, and I'm an INFP and myself, the MBTI personality test. Although that sounds a little bit dumb for lots of you guys, but so. But the thing is, if we think about that, right? He computers didn't take his job. He took himself out of a job. Because, like, if you are a typist, right, and when computers come out, when everyone is learning how to use computer, you are already typing at like 60 or 70 words per minute, which is pretty good. I mean, I type at 90, so sorry for bragging. But yeah, so you are off for a very good start just already. So if by then you learn to edit, you like, because the CV you need to bold, you have like headings, you have formatting. If you learn how to format it nicely, then you would stay in profession, right? In Vietnam, we actually have these photocopiers shops where you come and you can it's like they're more like a Microsoft Word technicians, if you may. Like you can have like a handwritten letters, give it to them, they type it into an email for you at a fee, probably like less than $1, because like the currency there is like there's a difference. But yeah, so these people, they do editing. And there is even a joke that architect in the University of Architecture cannot even compete with the people at the photocopy shop. So photocopy shop is quite like a holy grail for, like editing and Word and Microsoft and things like that. But so if he had upped his skills, I have no problem with like him being a motorcycle taxi, because they're quite useful actually, but they're very helpful as well. They're very nice people, highly recommend. But I mean, like, because he was complaining that like the computers took his job, and I just don't agree. But I didn't say it to him because I didn't want to hurt him, and probably at that time I didn't think that far. But nowadays, a lot of people are talking about AI in such a same way, don't you think? Like, they say that AI is taking your job, and I don't know. Like, I think it's like currently it's making mine and my friends and the people I know make their jobs much more enjoyable. So like, for example, like I have a friend who is an accountant. Like she's like, she really enjoys listening to the clients talking about their tax problems, and consult them on how they should structure their business. Should they go as a sole trader? Should they go freelancing? Should they like form a business? Should it be PLC, or should it be limited company? Yeah, she really likes that part. But the thing is, like, she's told me like she doesn't have a lot of time, and she's mostly in a rush, because, and like, and I guess the clients can feel that too, because not because she doesn't enjoy talking to the customers, but it's because she really doesn't have time. Why? Because she needs to fill on forms. So 20% of the time is spent on listening to the clients, and 80% of the time is spending crunching numbers. Like I used to be like, I used to do intern in like a accounting company, accounting firm, what they call, and like what I need to do is like type the bank accounts like from a PDF. I type them all into an Excel, make sure they are right. So that is like a full-time job in itself. And after that, like go through each of the entry in the bank statement and find out about, okay, whether this is a expense for business, is it a personal expense, where does that go. Have to do the analysis on that and then put them into a nice financial statement and fill that. And you like it's form filling, basically. It's admin stuff, it's form filling. So like what if AI can do all that? And my friend and accountants and your accountants, like if you have an accountant of your own, can spend more time talking to you rather than like, okay, I have to fill in this form, otherwise like my client's gonna get fined. But if the AI does all that, like if from 6 hours a day out of 8 hours of work, you only have to spend like 2 hours a day to do the numbers, you would have time to not 15 minutes phone call, but you can have like a 45 minutes with your clients to understand their needs, to understand their like understand the context better, that you can do the tax planning better. I know this because like I used to go find an accountant for my own company in Vietnam, and it was such a painful experience because they didn't have time to listen to me. Like their expertise at the beginning I thought was like, okay, they're accountant, they should be like proficient in like plannings and talk to you in expenses and consult you on how you do business. But they didn't have time because they really need to spend time on that, and I don't blame them. But what if your accountants were able to sit there with you for an hour or even two to listen to you about your accounts and like consult you on that? So I think that would be great. That would be great, right? And as accountants, financial accountants, tax accountants can not only do tax, which is filling the kind of things, but they can do more planning, because artificial intelligence, it can look at a case like after you have a nice coffee brunch with your clients and listen to their problems, you put the prompt into the AI and it's have like all this different scenario. I know a prompt to do that. Like give me the scenario under which this person pay more or less tax, and like they would find out way, for example, like how to transfer a fund to their kids, because in the UK we have this rule that inheritance tax can be up to 40% of the asset that you transfer. So it's like if you give like your son and daughters, your heirs, like a million house, you would actually have to they actually have to pay 40% of tax if you transfer it on your deathbed. If you transfer it like 7 years before, you just pay less tax, and it's diminishing. It's increasing the closer you transfer the asset to your debt. So yeah, so I mean, like what if like artificial intelligence can point out the scenario and it asks you like, hey, what do you think, like which one do you think is good? And you can spend less time doing the calculation, more time looking at the right thing, and you can come back to the client. So like that is a wonderful scenario, right? So I think we have to think about that. Like professions I think in the future it's going to be more about the human to human interaction, and that's why people are saying like interpersonal skills and things like that. Human to human interaction is more important. You would have more time, but you also would have to spend more time with humans, understanding their needs. Because here's the thing, like AI is going to increase the accuracy of pretty much like every business. Like it or not, it's going to increase the accuracy. And it's going to be a point where, like nowadays, like you choose an accountant, like, okay, this accountant does high quality, like little mistakes, fast, right? And that accountant isn't very fast and low quality, right? A lot of mistakes, right? But what if the accuracy is the same, completely the same, you would choose the accountant who does the job with more compassion, with more listening to you, compared to the one who doesn't listen to you and just assume that they know everything, right? Because like the nature of every business is different, and if they can be your friend, that is even better. So yeah, so as teachers as well. So I am also a qualified self-taught teacher. For those of you who don't know, I run my schools for like 2 years now. I've been teaching for 5 years since 2000. No, actually, I've been teaching for quite 7 years, because like since 2017. So teachers can spend more time teaching, less time lesson planning, less time grading. Because if you speak to a teacher, they're going to tell you that they love teaching, but they hate grading, they hate admin work, they hate any of that. But they love teaching, they love talking to the children, they love talking to the pupils, they love talking to the parents. I don't know about this, right? But I do love talking to the parents, especially the caring one. And if they spend time to talk to you, most of the time they care about their kids. So yeah, I mean, like, I'm not an optimist. I'm not an over optimist, but I believe that AI can reduce lots of the boring stuff, and it can let us do the more exciting stuff. So, but the last thing I would say is, think about how many percent of your work is human interaction, and how many percent of your work is admin work and paperwork. So you need to optimize the human interaction and learn to enjoy it. Otherwise, like, it's quite going to be a ride for you.